Man, nothing beats a nice drink in the Highlands, am I right, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Octopath Traveler, everybody. In the last episode, we finished off Ophilia's Chapter 3, which ended for better or worse, and in this episode, we are going to start Cyrus's Chapter 3. I've decided that from here on out, I'll probably be doing my recording in sessions of one chapter each, and then splitting them up into smaller videos for my daily uploads. I just think it would be more efficient. Hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much, although let me know if it does. Anyways, I don't think there's anything we can do here in terms of housekeeping. There's not much we can buy in the way of armor, at least any armor that would help us out. So, I'm kind of at a loss. I mean, unless we can buy a better shield. But I don't think we can. I don't think there are better shields around here. Although I will check the armor just to make sure. Because our shields are pretty antiquated by this point in the game. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Nope, we've got the best shield we can buy in this town. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going to be the best move for us when it comes to buying something we can use. Because this soldier's longbow doesn't really look good. Neither does the silver armor or elemental robe. Even the elemental heavy armor back from Goldshore didn't really help all that much. So, I think we're just gonna have to wing it, I'm afraid. I just hope that decision won't come back to bite me later on. But hey, there's only one way to find out, right? Ooh, we have some travel banter here from Ulbrich this time? Should you ever be in need of an extra swordsman, I stand at the ready. Thanks, Ulbrich. What have we got to hear from this banter here? Say, Sir Ulbrich, about that thing on your arm. My brassard, you mean? Mm-hmm. It looks like it would fetch quite a price. Is that so? Are you going to appraise it? Can you tell how old it is? Who made it? Where it came from? Not quite. I've just got a hunch, that's all. Oh. Certainly. It is of ancient provenance, passed down through generations of knights sworn to protect the king. Surely it has seen countless battles, and warded off the blow of countless swords. I knew it. I could tell with just a glance. Sir Ulbrich, let me buy it off you. I'll make it worth your while. It is a symbol and token of the comrades who served before me. I could not possibly sell it. No, you mustn't give in so easily, my little merchant girl. Little? Hey, Primrose, have you always had that necklace? Why, is your gut telling you it's a valuable treasure too? I don't know about that, but it sure is unusual. What do you say, Primrose? Want to sell it? Sorry, it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Oh, you guys are no fun. Oh, Tressa, always the eager merchant. Anyways, Tavern Keep, while we're here, tell us the tale of Cyrus's Chapter 3. You make your way to Stonegard after learning that the original copy of the tome you seek might be there, but you can't help but feel that someone's been watching you. The story so far. In Quarry Crest, Cyrus used his powers of deduction to get to the bottom of a series of kidnappings, perpetrated by the depraved scholar Gideon, who was harvesting the villagers' blood for his dark research. It was in Gideon's sickening laboratory that Cyrus discovered it. A translated copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Though the history of the dark arts intrigued him, he could not sit idly by while his peers used knowledge for evil. And so Cyrus came to Stonegard, where the tome was bound. Would he find answers here, or only more dreadful questions? Stonegard at last! A sprawling city if ever I saw one. Talk about searching for a needle in a haystack.
Now then.
First, I should review where we stand. Like as not, the translated copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell was produced by a bookmaker in this town. But where to begin my search? Logically speaking, it would make the most sense to begin at the source. Which means head straight for the bindery, of course. Where else?
Very well.
Let the investigation begin. I knew there was somebody following us. Who the hell are you, and why have you been following us ever since we left? What? Quarry Crest? Let's scrutinize some people at the bindery for information on our book, shall we? Testimony. I sold a book of my making to Dominic, a translator. His home lies on the east side of town. Interesting. Well now, it would seem I owe this Dominic fellow a visit. I should be able to find him in the workshop just east of here. Alright, let's go find Dominic, shall we? That was pretty easy.
Excuse me.
Beg pardon. Is this the residence of...
My apologies.
I don't know who you are, but I'm not in the mood for company.
A moment of your time.
If you could just spare a moment, kind sir, there's something I'd like to ask you.
gone with
I said I wish to see no one. Leave me at once. He seems like a stubborn one. I'll have to find another way. Pray forgive the intrusion. A good day to you, sir. It might behoove me to find out a bit more about our friend Dominic. Let's go ask around town to see why this man seems to be such a recluse. That Dominic went and shut himself off from the world after his only daughter succumbed to sickness 15 years ago. Interesting. Somebody in this house, apparently. One of Dominic's neighbors, no doubt. Dominic had a translation commission he thought would earn him a fortune. Still rused the day he said yes to it, poor lad. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he took on the commission to buy medicine for his daughter. Although why anybody would agree to translate a copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell is beyond me. Although I suppose times were pretty rough for him. Sold some medicine to Dominic about 15 years ago, I think? Was in a spot of bother, as I recall, financially speaking, so I gave him a discount. Interesting.
Very well.
And that should do it. I dare say Dominic will be more talkative this time. Alright, now that we have all the information we need, let's see what we can uncover from him.
Excuse me.
Beg pardon, Master Dominic. I am Cyrus, the scholar who called upon you earlier. You again? I already told you I don't want to see you. 15 years ago, Dominic lost his daughter to sickness. Dominic tried translating a book specifically from the far reaches of hell to pay off his debts.
But of course.
Yes, if my reasoning is correct, this is undoubtedly why Dominic has cut off all contact with the outside world. I do not mean to open old wounds, friend, but I have heard that you lost your dear daughter to illness some 15 years ago.
Thusly.
Since then, you have secluded yourself and cut off all contact with the outside world. In order to procure the elixirs that might save your daughter, you needed coin, quickly, and in large quantities. And so you accepted an unusual task.
Yes.
To wit, producing a translation of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Who told you this?
Now then.
The book that you translated is now in my possession. Clearly, you are a scholar of great knowledge and wisdom. You took care to omit the most horrific passages, doubtless because you recognized the danger they posed. As an academic, I will not stand idly by, as knowledge is used for the purpose of evil. And so I asked you, who commissioned this translation from you? Oh, hello, Dominic. Come inside.
Many thanks.
Thank you, friend. So what have you got to tell us about this
Listen.
tome, Dominic? But where should I even begin?
In truth,
15 years ago, a man came here to me with a request he said was of dire import. Strangely, I cannot recall his name. He was a scholar, and from words one could tell his mind was sharp as a blade. But what I remember more than anything were his eyes, which burned blood red with a zeal for knowledge that bordered on obsession. Blood red, you
what
say?
in the...
You don't mean to say.
After that,
They say in recent years he accepted a prestigious position at the Royal Academy in Atlasdan.
it couldn't
Good
be.
gods. Headmaster Yvonne?
Yes.
Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Yvonne was his name.
In truth,
He came to me a mighty and venerable tome in hand. That tome was from the far reaches of hell. I did not have to think twice.
is that so?
Knowing full well the danger posed by the forbidden knowledge within?
Yes.
Yes, I was not blind to the risk. And yet, what choice did I have? The medicines my daughter required cost a veritable fortune, and I'm but a humble scholar. So you followed Yvonne's instructions to the letter?
Yes.
Yes, I translated that dreadful tome. All the while fearing for my life what horrors might come to pass if the knowledge fell into the wrong hands. In the end, even the rarest of elixirs could not have saved my poor girl. Looking back, I believe this was divine punishment for my sins. Headmaster Yvonne, whatever was the man thinking? You say the book is in your possession. I beg of you, promise me.
Leave it to me.
I will see that it is never again used to bring pain and suffering. You have my word. The pain and guilt you bear is surely beyond my understanding, but I will hope this will bring you even a small measure of solace. Rest your heart easy, friend, as best you can.
You have my thanks.
Cyrus, was it? You have my thanks. Oh, it's you again. The shady figure's been following us since
Come
the
now.
dawn of our adventure. Well, are you going to keep hiding in the shadows, or shall we end this charade? So you were wise to my presence.
Just so.
I knew I was being followed, yes. Ah, it's you! Fancy meeting you outside the academy. You are the headmaster's assistant, Miss... Honestly, yeah, I'm with Cyrus on this one. Even I don't remember her name. I mean, you guys will remember that from my last couple episodes of Octopath Traveler 2, where I tried to remember this person's
Call me
name.
Lucia.
Ah, thank you. I completely forgot your name.
Greetings.
A pleasure. And why have you followed me here, Miss Lucia?
I apologize.
Forgive me, Professor Albright. I meant no offense. I overheard that you were investigating the whereabouts of a certain tome. A tome by the name of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Is this correct? And what if it is?
In truth,
What I'm about to say, I ask that you keep in the utmost confidence. I have reason to believe Headmaster Yvonne is plotting something unsavory involving the selfsame tome.
Why?
So the
I'll
thief
be-
who stole the book from the archives was
yes.
the headmaster himself. Of this I am all but certain. The headmaster's assistant I may be, but first and foremost I am a scholar in my own right. I will not stand to see my profession's good name sullied by one who would use knowledge in the name of evil. This is why
Indeed.
you came here seeking my aid.
Correct.
Yes, my intuition as an academic tells me you are a man to be trusted. As you may be aware, Headmaster Yvonne hails from Stonegard himself.
Yes.
I was planning to investigate that very matter after I was done here. The house in which he was born still stands. Yet there are ominous rumors about the place. I have ascertained its location, but I am hesitant to investigate further on my own. And so I ask Professor Albright, pray lend me your aid.
I see.
Before I promise anything, I would see the house with my own eyes.
Correct.
I understand completely. You will find it on the north side of town.
Shall we begin?
Very well. Let us pay it a visit straight away. As for whether or not I can cooperate, I will give you my answer there. Is this acceptable?
Thank you.
But of course. Thank you, Professor. I will go on ahead and meet you there. Well, let's go make for Yvonne's home, shall we? But first, some travel banter between Cyrus and Tressa. Can I ask you a question, Professor? By all means. What kind of things did you teach back at the palace? Interested in a spot of learning, are we? Then pull up a log and I'll give you a lesson. Do we really have time for this? I mean, we're currently on the tails of what could possibly be a very murderous headmaster here. Huh? History. Let's begin there, specifically with the founding of the mighty kingdom of Hornburg. Really? Man, it seems like everything is tying back to Hornburg these days. Especially in Cyrus' story, with him beginning teaching the history of the kingdom, and then finding out in Quarry Crest that somehow the divine magic contained within that book is understood through High Hornburgian? Wait, I never said... And there followed... And also... In short... He's been talking for an hour now. I'm not sure whether to be annoyed or impressed. But the king, Edbart, if you recall, had his own worries. You see, Professor, can I say something? What is it, Tressa? We really need to get back on the road. You said it, Tressa. Let's make for Yvonne's birthplace. Alright, let's have a gander at this house, shall we? This is where Headmaster Yvonne was born and raised. According to the neighbors, it has lain abandoned for some 20 years now.
Is that so?
Ominous indeed. Well, shall we let ourselves in? Ah! What the? Ugh! Jesus Christ. What the hell just happened? Did Lucia push us in here? Oh, that...
Where? What is this place?
Ah, Professor Albright. I apologize for this little ruse.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
God damn it, Cyrus!
So, we meet again, Headmaster Yvonne.
When I heard you were looking into from the far reaches of hell, I knew your search would lead you here. And sure enough, you didn't disappoint me. Your mind is every bit as sharp as I thought it was.
You sent Lucia to keep an eye on me.
What a shame, my dear boy.
Oh, come on. So now I not only have to deal with Headmaster Yvonne, but Lucia as well?
A thirst for knowledge like yours would be such a terrible thing to waste. So, what do you say? Apprentice yourself to me, and I will overlook your little trespasses.
How kind of you. I refuse.
Yeah, I'd never work for anybody who would decide to use the dark arts for their own gain.
I am, shall we say, philosophically opposed to your stance on knowledge. I believe that knowledge should be shared, not hoarded for one's personal gain.
I thought you'd say as much. Most unfortunate, Cyrus. Most unfortunate. As you know, this is my house, and I don't get many callers these days. A smart man like you knows what this means, yes?
Oh, we're gonna be stuck here, aren't we?
When you starve to death here, no one will be the wiser.
Well, fantastic. What are we gonna do now? If you think I'll give up without a fight, you don't know me nearly well enough. What do we do, though? There's nothing we can do.
Here.
Climbing my way out doesn't seem to be an option.
Now then.
Now, how to get myself out of this predicament?